Welcome to the multi-tiered systems of support. Are we truly implementing a multi-tiered system presentation? I certainly hope you previously watched the overview presentation in which we introduced the concept of there being 7 ingredients or essential components for a successful MTSS process. If you have not, I highly recommend that you preview that presentation prior to continuing with this one. In this presentation, we will discuss the first 2 essential components: high-quality instruction and scientifically based instruction and interventions. Schools need to understand instructional design and ensure that explicit, systematic, scaffolded instruction is planned for in a purposeful manner and is reflected in all teaching done in the school. These practices are evidence-based and must be implemented with confidence and fidelity to have a positive impact on student learning. Some of the specific behaviors and elements that should occur in the classroom and school that encompasses high-quality instruction are that a teacher models instructional tasks, provides explicit instruction, engages students in meaningful interactions, provides multiple opportunities to practice, provides corrective feedback, that students are engaged during lesson. They also should be engaged during independent work or recess if we're talking about behaviors. Students are successful at a high criterion level of performance, that high expectations are put upon them. And lastly, school personnel encourages and rewards student effort. Dr. Bradley Whitsell from Winthrop University describes the components of explicit instruction, including modeling and demonstration, teacher and student think alouds, as well as guiding and scaffolding practice. He discusses the importance of providing feedback to struggling students to encourage perseverance. I have chosen this resource, originally posted on the Doing What Works website, which has suspended because of his comprehensive focus not only on explicit instruction, but also high-quality instruction. In general, I still feel that this video was pertinent despite the fact that the Doing What Works website is no longer in service. Later, I will provide a plethora of additional resources related to multi-tiered systems of support. Enjoy the video. Scientifically based instruction and interventions. The No Child Left Behind Act of 2001 encourages and in some instances requires the use of instruction that is based on scientific research. No Child Left Behind's definition of scientifically based research is that it employs systematic, empirical methods that draw on observation or experiment, involves rigorous data analyses that are adequate to test the stated hypotheses and justify the general conclusions, rely on measurements or observational methods that provide valid data across evaluators and observers and across multiple measurements and observations, and can be accepted by a peer-reviewed journal or approved by a panel of independent experts through a comparatively rigorous, objective, and scientific review. Although just about every program on the market these days says that it is research-based, it is important for educators to actually look beyond the advertisements when adopting an intervention approach and ask to see the studies that show evidence of effectiveness for students with reading difficulties. Ask for more than testimonials that say, "We use this program and our kids did great." Look for research that compares student outcomes using the program with outcomes from another approach. There are also websites that can help educators make their way beyond sales pitches to find curricula that really are supported by research evidence. So, recognizing effective research, here are some leading questions. Has the study been published in a peer-reviewed journal or approved by a panel of independent experts? Have the results of the study been replicated by other scientists? Is there consensus in the research community that the study's findings are supported by a critical mass of additional studies? The list on your screen contains a few recommended resources. Let's learn about each of them. The What Works Clearinghouse was established in 2002 as an initiative of the Institute of Education Sciences at the U.S. Department of Education. The What Works Clearinghouse is administered by the National Center for Education Evaluation within IES. The goal of the WWC, or What Works Clearinghouse, is to be a resource for informed education decision making. To reach this goal, the WWC identifies studies that provide credible and reliable evidence of the effectiveness of a given practice, program, or policy, sometimes referred to as interventions, and disseminates summary information or reports on the website. In the Publications and Reviews tab, one may find practice guides, intervention reports, summarized findings on an intervention, single study reviews, which assess one research study or findings on an intervention, quick reviews of recent research, and reference resources. Through the Find What Works tab, one can summarize and compare the evidence of effectiveness of interventions that address the needs of your school or specific district. And if you want more global information, you may utilize the website Topics in Education tab, which will provide information defined by intended outcome, such as improved math skills, intended population, such as students with learning disabilities, and types of interventions, such as school choice, that may improve student outcomes. The Best Evidence Encyclopedia, or B, is a free website created by the Johns Hopkins University School of Education's Center for Data-Driven Reform in Education, under funding from the Institute of Education Sciences, U.S. Department of Education. It is intended to give educators and researchers fair and useful information about the strength of the evidence supporting a variety of programs available for students in grades kindergarten through 12th. The B provides summaries of scientific reviews produced by many authors and organizations, as well as links to the full texts of each review. The summaries are written by Center for Data-Driven Reform in Education staff members and sent to review authors for confirmation. The Promising Practices Network website is a unique resource that offers credible, research-based information on what works to improve the lives of children and families. Sometimes referred to as a best practices site or a model program site, Promising Practices Network is both of those things and much more. In addition to providing summaries of effective programs in the Programs That Work section, PPN, or Promising Practices Network, also features issue briefs that summarize the current research on various topics as well as expert perspectives, where child policy experts answer our visitors' most pressing questions on a variety of topics. Promising Practices Networks also links to additional research information in all areas related to child well-being, including the physical and mental health, academic success, and economic security. To promote successful implementation of best practices and model programs, Promising Practice Network also screens and posts evidence-based information on effective service delivery. In addition to the breadth of information the Promising Practices Network provides, visitors can rely on the website to provide information that has met high standards for scientific credibility, objectivity, and clarity. The National Center on Response to Intervention is housed at the American Institute for Research and works in conjunction with researchers from Vanderbilt University and the University of Kansas. It is funded by the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Special Education Programs. The center's mission is to provide technical assistance to states and districts and build the capacity of states to assist districts in implementing proven models for RTI. They have organized the center's work into 4 service areas. Knowledge production activities that include a rigorous technical review to determine which tools, practices, and implementation strategies are deemed scientifically valid and appropriate. It also provides expert trainings and follow-up activities, both face-to-face and at a distance, to drive implementation supports for RTI on a broad scale. Information dissemination activities that involve forming partnership and reaching out to target stakeholders via ongoing communication, including web-based telecommunication, and a rigorous center evaluation with formative assessments to help improve the delivery of our services in states and districts across the country. Jim Wright, a respected educational consultant and trainer, is the creator of Intervention Central, a popular website with free intervention and assessment resources for educators in grades kindergarten through 12. With many school districts across the nation now facing serious budget constraints, Jim's goal is to make Intervention Central the top website for high-quality response to intervention on multi-tier system of support resources available at no cost, including articles on effective academic and behavioral interventions and interactive tools to create assessments and other materials. I highly recommend Intervention Central's website personally. Funding for this project has been supported by the North Dakota State Personnel Development Grant.